Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Hey guys, hope you're going well. Today we are doing the final video in my behind the scenes series, looking at the more behind the scenes of what I do on the Roll Credits YouTube channel. So we've looked at my room slash studio tour, we've done how I film and edit my videos, and today, to finish it off, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I got started on the YouTubes. It wouldn't make sense if I didn't give some kind of context, because sitting here right now in April 2018 and looking back, that kind of hindsight of everything that I did in my childhood and my university studies, you know, kind of all built. So if you look at that in a context, it all makes sense to why I did end up creating the YouTube channel in April 2014. So with all of that said, I'm going to tell you a story. And it all started at the beginning of time. Okay, no, we're not gonna go that far back, but let's take it back. Why not? It seems like the logical place to start. Since a really young age, I've always had a very keen interest in the camera. It didn't used to always be about being in front of the camera. Well, probably when it started, I really enjoyed being in front of the camera, but then it sort of transitioned to being behind the camera. Well, you know what? I just liked being behind the camera and in front of the camera. I like that control. I like telling my cousin and my sister what to do and where to stand and how to act. And I just really enjoyed that whole process of making movie magic. I had my dad's mini DV camera. We used to film ourselves dressed up in costumes, running around the park. It was a normal childhood. Later on during my high school years, I got one of my first part-time jobs at the local video store, and we used to rent out, you know, DVDs and games to the local community. And I just loved being that person behind the counter, scanning people's DVDs, commenting when they came back scratched and telling customers off. But more than that, I really enjoyed people coming into the store and asking for movie recommendations. I just loved it. I loved telling people what my favorite movies were and recommending it to them, and then they'd take them home and watch them and come back the next week or the next day and tell me how much they loved the movie that I recommended. And that was just like everything. I don't think I could find any photos of me in my video store uniform, but I do have a photo of me when Shrek came out on DVD, and they made us wear these like Shrek t-shirts with the little headband with Shrek ears, and I think I wore that uniform for about 3 weeks with the release of Shrek on DVD. If I had to pinpoint things to one exact moment in my life, it would have to be working at the video store. That really changed everything for me. But at the time, I still didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, didn't know what I wanted to do for a career or for a job. Anyway, finished school, didn't really love any of the subjects, wasn't good at maths, wasn't good at science, enjoyed history, but didn't want to be a history teacher or a historian. Went on to my bachelor's degree and just took a bunch of film classes, film history classes and film studies, just for fun, and then 3 years later ended up majoring in film and television. I was sick of writing dissertations and papers on film studies and the history of film and the influence of film, so I decided I wanted to make my own films. Kind of funny how things go back full circle. Just like when I was 10 years old, telling my little cousins what to do and running around the park, here I was at the age of 21, 22, and I went to film school. I wrote and directed many short student films and crewed on just as many other student films. Some of them I'll probably dig out of the archives one day to show you, but yeah, probably not today. After finishing at film school, I became a freelance videographer. I videoed weddings, I did events and exhibitions, and loved doing fashion and runway and behind the scenes at fashion events and fashion week. At age 24, I moved from Melbourne to Los Angeles. I followed a boyfriend who had moved over 12 months earlier to pursue acting, and he had an apartment and he had a car, and it all just seemed so easy. He said, why don't you come over and pursue working in the film industry here in Hollywood? And I said, that sounds like a great idea. And I was there for 2 years and it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, it was also pretty soul crushing because LA is a tough city to crack. It is a tough place. If you can make it in Hollywood, baby, you can make it anywhere. I did manage to get a job and was working as an EA to a producer slash film financier. And we worked on a couple of cool feature-length projects, which I hope to share with you in a separate video. I'd really like to talk about my time in Hollywood working in the film industry. Definitely have a lot of thoughts. So not now. Not now though. Okay. I can finally answer the question, how I got started on YouTube and why. And that is because my boyfriend at the time and also my roommate at the time, they were both working at the local NoHo Lamley 7. They were working at the local cinema and they were working all the time, and I was seeing all the movies all the time. So they'd be at work, I'd go in, I'd see movies for free no matter who was working or if they were both working. So I was watching so many movies in all my free time. Like so many, all of them. All the movies I was watching. And I didn't have that many friends in LA. So I was looking for an outlet. I was looking for someone to talk about with all the movies that I was seeing. I was online a lot. I was reading all these discussion forums and blogs and watching YouTube critics as well, Jeremy Jahns, Screen Junkies, Chris Stuckman as well. And then there came two particular movies that were really female-centric, indie, and a little bit art house. And I couldn't really find anybody online who was talking about these movies or like really getting into a discussion about them from a female point of view. And one of these movies, Under the Skin, became the very first movie that I ever reviewed. Everything really evolved from there. I just genuinely felt like there was a little gap that I was looking for when I was online of what I wanted to see. And 4 years ago, I mean, I'm not saying there weren't any female film critics, there definitely were, but this particular sort of smaller movie, this art house movie, I just couldn't seem to find anybody at that exact moment that I was interested in. And that's when I thought, well, hey, I can just add my own voice. Why don't I talk about it? I came up with the name Roll Credits because I needed an online alias. I did not want to associate Roll Credits with my real name just in case the whole thing didn't work out, and I wanted to scrub all trace of it from the internet forever. I didn't even tell my family for the first, I would say 3 weeks. I waited until I had 10 subscribers that were not my friends or family. I needed 10 subscribers before I told anyone that I knew in real life. I kind of needed that mental validation. I don't know what it was, but I was like, if there are 10 people online who are willing to subscribe to my channel and listen to what I have to say about movies, then maybe I shouldn't be embarrassed about what I'm doing here online. Maybe what I'm doing isn't me being crazy by myself in my living room, waiting till my roommate and my boyfriend leave the house and then sneakily filming review videos. And as soon as I had that 10 subscribers, that's when I started telling people. Okay, it sounds weird saying it now, but at the time, I was a little bit embarrassed. I was very nervous. I was very shy, and I just did not know what kind of reaction I would get from the online movie community. But thankfully, I had a really positive reaction, and all I needed was these 10 people to follow me and say, hey, you're doing a good job. I like what you're doing. I also do reviews. Maybe you could follow me back and we could talk about movies. all I needed was that small handful of people to kind of interact with, and suddenly I was hooked. I was in the YouTube movie community and I was loving it. I was making online friends. I was uploading videos as often as I could, and it all really snowballed. 4 months later, after starting my channel in April, a video was published without my knowledge, a surprise video, which changed the game for me. It changed everything. I woke up the next day and my phone had blown up like I had never seen it before, with hundreds of messages and thousands of new subscribers. And this video was called Stuckman Suggests and was published by none other than someone who I had looked up to and looked for inspiration before beginning my own channel, Chris Stuckman. He went and posted this video called Stuckman Suggests, where he suggested 3 up-and-coming film reviewers, and that was Muffman Jones, Flick Fanatic, and myself. And I was just so proud, I guess. I don't think there's another word to describe it. I was really proud of being included in this really prestigious recommendation, and thousands of new people followed me and followed my channel. In fact, I really should show you the actual spike because it is insane. If you look at my analytics from before, when I first began the channel, in the first few months, maybe I'd get 1 new subscriber a day, 2, maybe 3. A lot of days I just get 0. And then on the day that Chris published this video in August, suddenly I had an additional nearly 3,000 new subscribers following the channel. So I couldn't be more thankful to Chris for taking a chance on my content and sharing what I had to say and my voice with his audience, because that definitely gave me the confidence to continue what I was doing with the channel. To wrap up this journey of how I got started on YouTube, I have to just mention that at that point, towards the end of 2014, I left America and moved back to Australia, and that definitely had a big influence on how my growth was on YouTube. And the next step from 5,000 subscribers to 10,000 took about 3 years, and I've only just recently passed 10,000 at the end of 2017. So it really was a large journey to grow my audience, but I think that's good. It means that I've worked harder and I've worked consistently to grow my audience, and everybody who follows me, every new person that joins the Roll Credits channel really makes a difference and really means a lot. And I say that with very real sincerity because I've been on the platform now for 4 years, adding my voice to the community around movie news and reviews and what is going on in the world of the movie and television and Netflix space. And it's been a really great journey. That's about as sentimental as I can get. It's just meant a lot to have grown this community around the channel, and all the discussions that we have in the comment section down below, and all the support that I get on a personal level, but also for the channel and for the types of movies that I review, and the sort of direction that I've been nudging the brand of Roll Credits. I mean, I do of course review big blockbuster movies, but I also really try and focus on those indie art house movies and bring in foreign movies as well with my Foreign Film Friday series, and just kind of curate my choice of films that I talk about. And everyone that has been along for the ride has just been freaking awesome. All right, that's enough of that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series of behind the scenes that I've put together for you, looking a little bit more about how the whole Roll Credits thing got going, why it got going, how it got going, and why it is still going. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel here and keep up to date with all things movies and TV. There'll be plenty more movie reviews coming your way soon, so please do subscribe and click that little bell icon to stay notified every time that I post a new video. That is it from me, guys. Thank you so very much for watching and for staying with me this past 4 years on the internet, on the YouTubes. It has been awesome. I will see you next time. Bye.